If I'm caught up or find myself caught up around people who are not worth it or not bringing any of that kind of thing to the table, then they will find that I'm not a people person for them. Okay, what's up, YouTube? First off, I want to say thanks for all the new subscribers and viewers. Last week was pretty surprising to me. Things really picked up as they've been going along. They've been actually picking up more and more, which is kind of cool. I still don't really know exactly who my demographic is or whatever, but so on that tip, I will just go ahead and talk about stuff I want to talk about or feel like talking about, which tends to be what my channel seems to look like it's going to be anyway. I went on a little bit of a reset for myself the past week or so, and I do that every once in a while, as people who know me know that I am wont to do, as they say. So during that kind of time, I usually check out a little bit, go off the air, go non-communicado? One of those things. The thing that I'm into talking about right now is, it's something I believe in fully. You are the sum or the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. It's not because you're easily swayed or influenced. It's just the way it is. So you're not around 5 people all the time, or the same 5 people all the time. It can be you read a particular author often, you watch a particular television show or news channel often, and then you talk to like 2 or 3 other people that you hang out with, and then there's one person that you hang out with quite a bit, or whether it could even be your spouse. You're the sum of the 5, but I think the 5 can be the sum of several influences. And that's one of the things that I came across for, say, just on the tip of mixers and musicians and artists dealing with influence. It boggles my mind that there are YouTube influencers or guys with YouTube channels who have somehow established some authority, and literally when you peel back the layers and get past the fancy editing and fancy screen sharing and things like that, there's nothing there. They don't really have any background to back up their bullshit online, and they will spend 45 minutes to an hour talking about a specific piece of software or plugin that they use or a piece of gear. And if you really look deeply into it, you will find that it is usually a shill that's connected to something that they're selling via affiliate marketing, something of that nature. So I would suggest that when you are taking in these influences, and these 5 people can add up really quickly, that you vet that situation every once in a while, or at least put a little evaluation in and say to yourself, like, okay, what music am I listening to a lot lately? What YouTube channel am I kind of soaking up a lot lately? What are my few friends that I'm hanging out with at at the bar or at the coffee shop? What's the overall contribution to your being inspired? Every once in a while, it'll shake you up, and you'll realize that, okay, sadly, I need to cut this person loose, or cut this channel loose, or cut this music loose that I'm listening to, because it's affecting me not in a great way. What's the value? I mean, if you're not really considering what the value is for yourself as you go along, sooner or later you will end up without any value. I'm trying to see things in all different directions. I know that some people don't think, this is like, you have to have these kind of things in here. Some people don't think I'm a people person. That's because they're not, or they are no longer one of the 5. As harsh as that may sound, the people that have instigated or insinuated that I'm not a people person have been not kept in my circle. The circle of, no, it's not the circle of trust, but it's the circle that you keep around you that inspire you to do other things, to do better things, to think higher, shoot higher, aim higher, go for things, go for goals, talk about possibilities. Those are the people that I want to be around. So if I'm caught up or find myself caught up around people who are not worth it or not bringing any of that kind of thing to the table, then they will find that I'm not a people person for them. Not everything is a take situation. With regards to this channel, I'd like to be the 20% or 20% of your circle, so to speak, and not in some corny, cheesy way. But like if you have 5 influences on a consistent basis in your life, then I would hope that I'm bringing something to that. And that's how I kind of try and carry myself when I'm on a session or when I'm out with friends having a cigar. Bring something, contribute something to the situation. Relationships with friends, being interested in what they do. Maybe you can be helpful or offer a little bit of positivity. And it's funny that the people that I've been around that come across the most negative are the first ones to put it on you that you're negative and that you're bringing negativity. I think that's nowadays it's called gaslighting. Yeah, it had been called projecting a lot. These are little tells that you probably should keep an eye out for and see what your relationships are like, as everything is all about relationships. The relationship with the 5. I was listening to some music on one of my little drives the other day, Vampire Weekend. It's an album from 2013 or 2013. It's a black and white album with white lettering on it. Interesting stuff. I found some of the tones to be interesting, some interesting mixes. I was talking to a friend of mine about it, one of the 5, and I said, it's interesting when I hear mixes that I know were inspired and performances that were inspired that they hadn't had the life sucked out of them. One of the tragic results of technology being so involved with the recording studio now is that everyone has access to their gear all the time. So in other words, my studio is right on the other side of the wall, and I can access things any split second that I need to, which also can translate to the artist or the client knowing that can happen. So the never-ending fix and tweak and fix and tweak, which to me usually results in, at a certain point, a degradation and a loss of vibe and a loss of inspiration. Those things weren't accessible years ago because you had to really commit to want to fix and tweak. You had to book another studio, you had to reconstruct the mix, which could take hours, if not the half of a day. And then to just get that one little thing, you could spend $1,000 or $2,000 just going about that. Nowadays, with the disregard for people's time because of the access on the computer, the never-ending tweak is always in reach, and it's never actually considered that time is involved, and also the fact that these tweaks are now actually destroying the initial inspiration. It's not really too hard to understand that these great tunes that everybody loves from 40, 30, 20 years ago were all done that way.